What's up guys, it's Bucky. Welcome to your 40-second Python tutorial. And in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys more of reading and writing lines in the text file. So you guys already know how to read a certain way from a text file using read and then something like 3 or something like that to read 3 bytes. And I also taught you guys how to read the rest of your file by using read with no parameters taken. But let me show you guys how to read line by line, and this is a little different. So let's go ahead and make a file object so we can do some stuff to our file, and we want to open it, of course. So let's see if I can remember my directory. It's in test and also a.text, I believe it is. And we also want to read, and we can't forget our parentheses right here. So that goes ahead and makes our object file. And now, in order to read a line, what we need to do is print, this is optional, fob.readLine. So instead of just read, we want to read one line. And once you hit enter, what this does is read a line up to the first break. And this has about 4 lines in it. So that's the first line of my text file. Hey now brown cow with brown misspelled. But again, just like read with no parameters, there's a different way to take read lines, there's a different way to read the lines of the rest of your file, and that's print your file object and read lines. And unlike this one where it's a read line that reads a single line, this one reads all the other line by line. And aside from this, let me show you guys. Aside from just reading line from line and printing it out like we've done before, what this function does is it takes lines by line, each line, and it inserts it into a list. So instead of just returning the lines line at a time, it takes all the lines and returns them line by line, but it does it as a list. So that's a different way where you can use read line to return a single line. Or if you use read lines, plural, it returns all the lines, but it does it as a list. So this is the first line, this is the second, third, and fourth. So aside from that, let me show you guys how to write lines. So let's go ahead and close this because we're done with it for now. And let's open up a new one where we can write. So file object equals open, and let's go ahead and see if I can remember my directory again. Test a.text, and instead of reading this time, we're going to want to write this time. So make sure to put a W right there. Now we have a file object that can write. Now let's go ahead and write new lines into our file. So go ahead and with your file object, go ahead and put the write command. Now it only takes one parameter, and that's the write lines. Now let's go ahead and put this is a new line, and then put \n. And wherever you put this, I don't know if I told you guys before, but this inserts a new line. So whenever you write \n, it knows to go to the next line. So this is a new line, this is line 2, \n, this is third line, \n, this is the last and final line. And so once you go ahead and press enter, you just wrote 4 lines of text into your file. So let's go ahead and close that, and I'll show you guys exactly what it did. And I just hit that. That doesn't mean anything. I just actually hit that with my finger by accident. So now if we go ahead and look at our file, we should have 4 new lines that we just wrote. So this is line 2, this is third line, and this is the last and final line. So let's go ahead and close that, and let me show you guys how to do one more thing. Now I showed you guys how to read one line at a time. I showed you guys how to read all the lines, all the rest of your lines in your file return as a list, and I showed you guys how to overwrite your old file to make a completely new file with new lines. But another thing I want to show you guys how to do is how to modify only certain lines in that file. If you can remember, that old file said this is new line, this is line 2, this is third line, this is last and final line for 1, 2, 3, and 4 fourth lines. But say you want to only edit one of those lines in that file. Let's go ahead and make a file object. Actually, I'm going to show you guys how to do this in the next tutorial. This one's getting kind of long. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to modify only certain lines using, well, I'll show you in the next tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.